up, guys? Kent with Gator Trax Boats. This is my Marsh series. I have adapted it for summertime use by making this deck I'm going to show you and taking the mud motor off the back. And I use it to fish in gravel pits and stuff like that, really small waters. Well, they're large gravel pits, but crappie, love to crappie fish. It's one of my favorite things to do. Got a LiveScope set up on here, and I'm going to go over this and show you what I think about this LiveScope and why it's so cool. Because I can keep my hands free, and I can sit on this very comfortable Millennium chair on this nice big sprawling deck I have on the front of this boat. I can reach my rods, I can reach everything I need. My hands are free to do whatever I want, and you catch that LiveScope turning again down at the bottom. Simple as I can turn it by pushing my heel all the way down. I can hold it right there. My toe all the way down, I can hold it right there. And then my heel all the way down will bring it all the way back for 360 degrees. I'm going to show you this setup and a little bit more about it. Stay with me. All right, so this is what it looks like up here. What I've got is an old broken motor guide trolling motor from what looks to be about 1997 or so. And when I want to pull my LiveScope back in, it's going to trolling motor mount. So put a little tension down on this old thing so it comes up. And then my LiveScope's up and out of the water. When I get ready to get to the next spot and deploy it, I just grab the rope and flip it overboard, just like a trolling motor. I love that. The main thing I love about it is that, right? So all I've done is cut the motor off the bottom of this thing. You can't imagine how easy that is to turn back and forth when you remove the weight from the foot of that trolling motor. And so I can sit here with this foot here, and I can point you can see my arrow. Look, I've got the arrow straight ahead, okay, when the pedal is dead level. That way I can go down like this all the way, and look what it spins around to. And then I can heel down, and look what it spins around to. But when I'm riding and looking straight ahead, my foot's not in a bind. See, it's dead middle like that and flat. And then the other foot just does what everybody else does with the other foot on the trolling motor. It's so simple and so easy, man. And look, that thing, you talk about a lot of money for LiveScope turrets now. You can spend up to $1,500 on those things, but more, really. And none of them are as convenient as that is. You just got to get, hey, I got two trolling motors. Looks like you got two trolling motors in front of your boat. Yep. That's it. That's all you got to get past. And then, so I've got my Garmin set up right here. Now, my Garmin is set up portable. So I guess I can get in this thing. And well, I've got it strapped down. So I've got it strapped. See there? One there on that side, one there on that side. And I've got it strapped down so it doesn't move, and I can ride down the highway with it like this. But you take that strap out, and I have my LiveScope cable attached with quick connect, so just little slides. I'll show you that in a minute. And so I can get my LiveScope off of that. And of course, it's just the one knob at the bottom of the LiveScope that unscrews it. And I can take that completely off, wrap it up, and put it away. And then I have another trolling motor on another boat and put it in that and just hook it to the trolling motor with the quick connects and the one knob screw. So it's got its own battery source. It's got a Dakota lithium battery in there. That is, I think it's 54 amp hours, something like that. I can get like 3 days of fishing with this Garmin LiveScope out of that. So that's my view from the front deck, all right? Look how much space I have. I can set a whole tackle box up there on that side and another one on this side. I wind up usually laying rods there. I made these little rod holders in my wood shop. I know guys say, well, you're with Gator Trax, man, you must have the finest and the best of our. Hey, look, I got some fine boats. This is a great duck boat. I got a fishing boat, but it's 7 years old. This boat's 6 or 7 years old. There's no need to build another one. My boat looks like your boat it does because you use your boat, and I use mine too. So I got, no telling what you'll find in this thing, but this is how my boat's set up. I made a little stand to put this ice chest on. This is an old K2 ice chest that went through a train wreck with me in my last boat. That's a different story. And I bought this little wire entry thing here from the internet and stuck it on there, and I can just take a crappie. And see, it's right here, even with that back deck. I can just take a crappie and just shove him down through. I don't have to open the lid up at all. Don't have to leave the front deck at all. And then you got a spot to fish there in the back. And I even have that dove bucket over there That's when a third man goes, and he puts that right there in the middle right there. So I can fish 3 people out of this, no problem. It's a 15-foot Marsh series. I took the mud motor off and I replaced it for just a little old, I need a bigger one on there. It's only a 36-pound thrust. It needs a 55 12 volt in the back. It runs to the battery underneath there. It's got an onboard charger on it. I plug it in on the onboard charger. There's my charger right there on top of my old outdoor freezer that goes to the LiveScope, and it just plugs in over there on the side. This is where it plugs in, and I don't have to open it or anything. Plug it right up, charges the battery. So I mean, this boat in a couple of months, all this stuff will be off, and all of this stuff here will be out, and my duck blind will be back on it again. And the mud motor will take the place of that trolling motor in the back there again. So when we talk about buying a boat from Gator Trax and it being a modular boat to use 12 months out of the year, this is what we're talking about. I do it. I live it. No different than you guys do it and live it. That's why you buy our boats, because you use your stuff and everything else just falls apart over time. All right, man. Thought you might be interested to see what I fish with on the weekends when I'm gravel pit fishing for sockeye. This is it. All right, so here on the front, you get a better view of the removable deck. I got the spotlights that are built on there permanently. They never come off. They're inside a shroud because this is really my duck boat, so I use them a lot on there duck hunting. But you can see they just bolt on. This is a thick plate. We took a piece of 3/16 and welded it to the top of this existing deck to give the threads on this some bite. You can't just run it through thin metal. You can do it a few times and then you're done. But you can crank that and tighten the snot out of it, and it's not going anywhere because it's got enough depth in that aluminum there to grab quite a few threads. And then it comes right off, see? It just kind of makes this U-shaped deal there all the way around, comes right off the front. I have, some of you may have noticed this, because I'm launching in gravel pits sometimes, you got to do it, I got to have 4-wheel drive and a lot of sand. So getting the trailer back down in there where I want to get it back down, sometimes it's hard to do. And this boat's a little heavier than just a regular throw it in the back of the truck bateau. But that's why it's so comfortable. You know, when a boat is heavy, if this boat weighs 650 pounds, let's just say, and you weigh 200 and you step to one side, it's not a big deal. But when you go get in a boat that weighs 185 pounds and you weigh 200 pounds, you step to one side and it either capsizes or your buddy falls out the other side. So it's heavier. So getting it up on that trailer, I bought this little winch and I plug that thing in and I carry a battery. I drop my tailgate, boom, I got about a lithium battery in the back of the truck. I hook the alligator clips up to it, got a little remote, and that thing will winch that Marsh series right up to that bumper. It's pretty cool. Saves me a lot of jerking and stuff on that handle. So anyway, that's the outside of that. Just a regular Marsh series.